Rachel Martinez stared at the obstacle course through rain-soaked eyes, her third failed attempt burning in her chest like acid. 23 years old, former college track star, and she couldn't make it over a wall that 18-year-old boys conquered on their first try. "Martinez, fall out," Drill Sergeant Hopkins barked. "Report to the commander's office. Now." This was it. The discharge papers. 3 months of humiliation ending in the walk of shame back to civilian life, where she'd explained to everyone who doubted her that they'd been right all along. Commander James Reese's office was sparse. Just a desk, 2 chairs, and walls covered with commendations from 20 years in the SEALs. He didn't look up when she entered, just kept writing in a leather journal. She stood at attention, waiting, her soaked fatigues dripping onto his floor. "Do you know why you're failing, Martinez?" His voice was quieter than she expected. "No excuse, sir. That's not what I asked." He finally looked up. His eyes were gray, weathered, but not unkind. "I've watched you. Every morning at 0430, you're the first one on the track. You run until you vomit, then you run more. You have more heart than half the soldiers who pass through here. So why are you failing?" Rachel's jaw clenched. "Permission to speak freely, sir? Granted. Because I'm not strong enough. Because I'm not fast enough. Because maybe everyone was right that women don't belong." "Stop." His hand hit the desk. "I've heard a lot of excuses in my career, Martinez, but self-pity disguised as honesty isn't one I tolerate." He pulled out a file folder. "You know what I see? Someone trying to be something she's not. You're running their race, following their playbook, using their techniques designed for bodies built differently than yours." He slid a single sheet of paper across the desk. It was stamped with red letters, "Combat Order." Rachel's heart stuttered. Combat orders during basic training? That wasn't protocol. 2 months ago, we had a situation, Reese began. Earthquake in the Kazan Mountains, remote village cut off, children trapped. The terrain was too unstable for helicopters, too narrow for standard extraction teams. We needed someone small, light, who could navigate collapsed structures. We sent in Petty Officer Sarah Chen, 5'2", 115 pounds. She brought out 7 kids. He tapped the paper. "This is your new training protocol. I'm detaching you from standard basic and putting you on specialized combat preparation. You'll train the way Chen trained, the way our mountain warfare units train, the way operators train when standard methods don't apply." Rachel stared at the order, afraid to touch it. "Sir, I don't understand. Why would you—" "Because I've lost too many good soldiers who quit because they couldn't fit a mold designed for someone else." His voice turned hard. "But understand this. Specialized doesn't mean easier. It means harder. It means finding your strengths and weaponizing them while everyone else follows the paint by numbers." The next morning, Rachel found herself in a different area of the base she'd never seen. A facility with cargo nets, climbing walls at impossible angles, tight spaces designed to simulate rubble, and equipment half the size of standard issue. Her new instructor was Sergeant Lisa Park, a wiry woman with scars on her forearms and eyes that missed nothing. "Commander Reese thinks you're worth saving," Park said. "Let's see if he's right. What's your background?" "Track, sir. Middle distance. Some rock climbing, endurance and problem solving." "Good. Forget everything they taught you about powering through obstacles. We're going to teach you to flow around them. Speed, flexibility, tactical thinking. Your weapon isn't strength. It's efficiency." The training was brutal but different. Instead of maxing out on push-ups, Rachel learned leverage points and body mechanics. Instead of scaling walls with pure upper body strength, she learned momentum and precise foot placement. Every exercise had a tactical application, navigating hostile urban terrain, extracting civilians from collapsed buildings, reconnaissance in spaces larger soldiers couldn't access. 6 weeks later, Rachel stood at the starting line of the final qualification course. Standard basic training candidates ran it in 12 minutes. Her specialized protocol required 9. The whistle blew. She exploded forward, hitting the first obstacle, the wall that had defeated her months ago. But this time she didn't try to muscle over it. She hit it at an angle. planted one foot on a support beam others ignored, used her momentum to swing up, and was over in seconds. The crowd that had gathered grew silent as she moved through the course like water through stone, finding paths others didn't see, turning her size into an advantage in the tunnel crawl, using technique over power on the rope climb. 8 minutes, 40 to 3 seconds. Drill Sergeant Hopkins stood at the finish line, stopwatch in hand, his expression unreadable. Commander Reese stood beside him. "Martinez," Hopkins said slowly. "That was highly irregular, yes, sir. Also 17 seconds faster than our base record." Reese stepped forward and extended his hand. "Welcome to the next phase, soldier. There's a specialized operations unit that needs people who think different. Interested?" Rachel took his hand, finally understanding. She hadn't failed because she was weak. She'd been failing because she was trying to be strong in someone else's way. "Yes, sir. Absolutely yes." As she walked away, she heard Hopkins mutter to Reese, "You think this specialized training approach will catch on?" Reese smiled. "I think we've been measuring capability wrong for a long time, Sergeant. About time we fix that." Rachel didn't look back. She had a new mission now, and she was finally ready for it.